Hello, hello. Happy Tuesday. Happy day 2 of our 7-day live streaming challenge. I'm really proud of myself. 2 days in a row. I'm usually not great at daily daily challenges, especially when it involves going live because it means that I have to block off time and think through what might be helpful and all the different questions I'm sure you all ask yourself all the time. But I thought it would just be really hopefully helpful to people who catch these either live or down the road in replay to be able to see sort of the behind the scenes of Ecamm. I'm here entirely to take any questions. So if you're just popping on, you've caught this while you're scrolling, feel free to ask any questions at all. It can be about live streaming, video, Ecamm, chickens or ducks, crocheting, anything, anything in between. And while I'm waiting for people to pop on and ask some questions, I thought I would jump through and build from scratch here in Ecamm, which is something that people I think really have a hard time with when they're just jumping into streaming or video creation for the first time, because there's a lot happening here behind the scenes in Ecamm, but it's actually a lot easier than it seems and can be really friendly and really fun as an experience as well. So I'm going to pop into what's called live demo mode and show you a few different things happening here in the Ecamm world. All right. So here we are in live demo mode. And I have a bunch of windows open, but no one panic because I'm going to start from scratch. So this is a brand new testing profile I just created maybe like minutes before we jumped on here. So I have a couple of really simple scenes. I have me and a guest. I have this it inappropriately called 3 cameras because initially I was connecting more than 1 camera, but I just have 2 here right now. This is my phone camera pointed at my bookcase, and then I have this guy up here, which is my OBSBot Meet 2. So I'm just gonna come in here and rename it to 2 cameras so it's actually accurate. And then this one is just me. So I'm gonna come in here and name this just me. Um, but this is how we approach building out content here in Ecamm. And what I really wanted to show, which I think not a lot of people realize about Ecamm, is that you can absolutely drag and drop in any kind of file. So you can have like a video file, an image, any kind of background that you can think of here behind your video content. And that helps to kind of carry your brand forward. But you can actually build them in Ecamm. So if we come on over here, here's a new scene. Oh, look at that. It's actually my accurate camera, not my other camera. So I'm gonna let's leave this as new scene for right now. Ooh, it just got nighttime here in my background. We're entering nighttime, everyone. So welcome to my nighttime live stream. If you're just joining, I am participating in Pat Flynn and SPI and Ecamm's 7-day live streaming challenge. So this is me going live every day for 7 days. Day 2 coming at you. And you can always swing back over and catch day 1 if you want. And anyone that pops in or sees this, you can definitely drop a comment either now or later. I'm more than happy to answer any questions anyone has about live streaming. And I'm actually going to remember this time because last time I forgot. I'm just going to open up LinkedIn because I don't see the comments come through. So just in case anyone's watching now on LinkedIn, I'm going to open it up so I can see the comments on the iPad I have here off to the side. So give me one sec, just on the off chance. And I can also answer any comments or questions that come in later. Okay, cool. I now have all my comments. I can see anything that comes in here, and then I can see anything that comes in through LinkedIn on my iPad. All right, so if you're looking at Ecamm and you're starting for the first time, I have my dual mode open. That's why you see the wide format and then the over on this side, the vertical format version of me. So I can design for both wide and vertical at the same time. So I can create 2 different kinds of video in one take, which is great. But right now, what I'm going to do is create a background. So I don't want to open up Canva or Adobe Express or ask a designer to help me. I want to build everything by myself. So what I'm going to do is come up here to this source at the top, and I'm going to switch it from camera, which is what you're seeing right now, to blank. Okay, so that just gives me a blank slate. You can't see me anymore other than in the bottom camera switcher menu over here at the bottom. But here is just a blank background and it's black, nothing special or exciting. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here. I have my little overlays panel. I can also access that up here at the top, overlays. And so either of these, I can come down here and I can hit shape. All right, so that'll bring up a shape, and yours might look different than mine. Mine I've been playing around with in the last couple of minutes before I hit go live. So mine is like this pinky purple, which tend to be my brand colors for the VHS club that I run with my best friend. But your colors might be different. No worries. And whatever size it is, however it comes in, you can grab it, you can move it all around, you can carry it over here into the vertical canvas. So let's just have it center right now, and you're going to see every kind of overlay gets this little pencil icon or pen icon on the side. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to hit that little icon. You're going to want to slide it over so you can see. Hit that little icon. And then rectangle makes sense. You can choose a whole bunch of different things. Let's just slide this over a little bit so we can see all this. So there's the shape of it, rectangle, that's great. Fill. So maybe this time I want to add a little bit of motion. And why don't I change it purple and maybe blue? Let's find like a, yeah, there we go. Kind of like a midnighty color, purple and blue. And you can see if we sit here for long enough, you can see it move, right? So you can see the purple now is over on the right and it's going to come down. All right. And I'm not going to put any kind of border or width or corner radius or any of this kind of stuff because I want it to be my background. So now that I have that, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to make it full screen, right? So I didn't have to go into Canva to get a really simple background color. And again, you can apply your brand colors. So if you come back over here again, now I'm on the other side. Boop, I'm going to close that for a sec. So you can come in here and you could absolutely, it's this one here. You can put in like your hex color if you know that, your brand kit. There's a number of different ways to be able to pick these different colors. I like my little pencil crayons, but you can, and you can even use the dropper to find the color that works for you. But let's pretend that these are your brand colors. Purple and blue looks great. So that looks awesome. And then I'm just going to hold down the Option key and I'm just going to drag this over here into this vertical scene as well. So I'm building for both scenes at once. So I have my vertical scene and I have my horizontal scene. And pull this back over. This is what happens on a laptop. Boop, 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 boop. All right. So now what I'm going to do next is come over here and I'm going to pull a camera overlay so I can bring myself back on screen. All right. So my main camera is this one here, this Meet 2 stream camera. So here, and again, this might look a little bit different than what you see depending on what your settings are, what you've messed with last. But I can position myself and you can see these lines pop up. So I can come in at any spot. So here I am here. That looks pretty good. And then I'm going to just hit that Option key, duplicate myself over here, and then I'm going to shrink this down. Maybe on this one, I'm going to come in here. Maybe I'm going to make that a little bit wider, and then I'm going to find where that center mark is. Right about there. Okay. So, and then I've been messing around with 2 cameras. So why don't I pull in another camera? So I'm going to come over here, overlays. I'm going to come back into cameras. And then let's pull this, my bookshelf scene. So let's do this. Maybe this is a little bit wider. Now that I'm seeing it, maybe this, who knows? Maybe I could even pull myself like this and I could make this a wider shot. And then I can move my camera a bit if I want to catch more of my bookshelf. Ta-da! All right, lighting's kind of bad on that, but there we go. And then again, if I want to duplicate that over, I can just come here and I can Option over here and I can shrink that down. So again, maybe it's like this. So it's stacked over there. So totally 2 different layouts. But when I hit record, I'm going to have a vertical version, me and my bookcase, and I'm going to have this wide version here. So building anything in Ecamm really just comes down to thinking about how you want it to look, but you can actually create a lot with shapes as well. So, there's a lot that you can do with these shape icons. And then you can see here, that's the one that's in my vertical. So I can say vertical background. So I know where that is. And then you can see if I hide it, it goes away and comes back. And then this is my wide background. And again, you can see if I hide it and it comes back. So that's makes up these scenes. Then I can come in here. And again, these ones that are copies, I can rename them. It looks like, see if I hover over it, I can see which one it is. So this is the vertical iPhone camera. And that's just the regular iPhone camera. And that's my vertical spot. Me too. That's that camera. And then I can come up here and label this scene. And this is Katie plus bookshelf cam. So now I have another scene. That took me only like a couple of minutes to make. Let me pop up the comments just in case. That only took me a little bit of time to make. And now I can switch back and forth between the ones I built before. So I can come up here. Here's me and a guest. Let's just pull actually that background in over here. Ooh, hang on. Maybe it's locked. Interesting. Let's control. Oh, there we go. It's just me being weird. Okay, so there's the background. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here to pull this in. And I can position this up here. Or honestly, like maybe I decide that I want something completely different in the vertical recording, which is totally fine. Like maybe it's just the book cam view, or maybe it's just me and there's no guest in this view. I can do whatever I want with this particular place. So everything gets layered on top, but you can build a lot of different kinds of backgrounds natively in Ecamm. So if I come over here again, let's say I build, oh, there's my FaceTime cam. Hello. So I can build another scene again in here if I come back up to source blank. And then I come over here and I click again for a shape. Let's this time, instead of doing motion, let's do a gradient. Maybe we could just do a regular color. Maybe this one's just a plain purple background. Right? And again, you can build off of that. And you can, if there's one solid background that you want throughout everything, you can actually just pull that down into the background. And then now that saves you a step. It just appears in the background of absolutely everything. So if I was to build a new scene and then I come up here to source blank, the purple would automatically be in the background. So again, you can build a lot here without needing to have any kind of design tools. But if you had a graphic, let's see here, I have my League of Their Own, which I'm reviewing on the show. I can literally just drag and drop that in, and then I can shrink it down and position it wherever I want. So I could even have that as a background if I wanted, and I could. If I wanted to, maybe I come over here like this, and then I can add me as a camera over here, this camera. And I can come in here, and let's say I want this to be Squircle. I like the border. That makes sense. Maybe I want to add a bit of perspective to it. And then maybe I want to shrink that down. So now I can come like and be down here in the corner. Maybe I put that all the way to the center. Here we go. I can make myself, I should be on this side so I'm not blocking the names. And maybe I want to change my perspective the other way. So there we go. So you can pretty quickly layer on what you want, including text and comments and all kinds of things. But the power really is in this ability to build all these scenes out, and you can do them build everything out and plan it out the way that you want without needing to go live or record it all. You can just come in here, build everything out, have it look and feel exactly the way you want. Practice going through it a few times. Practice coming up here and being like, okay, this is my intro. Then I'm going to switch here. Then I'm going to switch back here. Then I'm going to go here. And then that'll be the end of my show. Then when you're actually ready to go live or to record, everything is already there. All your graphics, your sound effects, everything that you need is all built into these scenes, and you can just easily go back and forth. There's also hotkeys. So if I wanted, for example, for this to be number 1, if I'm here, when I hit number 1, I come back over here to this first scene, and I could make this one, for example, number 5. So now I can go from 1 to 5. Ooh, what did I do there? 5 must already be a preset. Let's see here. You can see I never use hotkeys. Let's try 2. So I can go from 1 to 2 to 1 to 2. I'll just look into that. 5 must already be. Yeah, 5 adds a picture-in-picture. Cool. The more you know. These days I'm all about button pushing. Hi, if you're just hanging out with us, I am taking Pat Flynn and SPI and Ecamm's week-long 7-day live streaming challenge. Even though I'm already actually technically live 3 times this week just with shows that I do, I thought it was fun to try to spend some time by myself on camera, which I normally avoid. I don't particularly enjoy being by myself on camera, but I'm playing around, and hopefully this content is helpful for anyone that sees it either now or later. And if you have any questions now while you're hanging out with me live or later, if you're catching this later on the replay, drop them in the comment wherever you're watching and let me know. And I'm more than happy to follow back up and answer any questions. I'll stay on for another few minutes just in case anyone else pops up and has questions. But hope you're having a great Tuesday. It's been an awesome week so far. Weather is great. We're finally in spring mode and I'm having fun. I've been building all kinds of stuff and creating all kinds of stuff. I do a show on Fridays with my friend Jeff where I get to crochet. So I have all my crochet stuff here, and it's really fun because I actually get to play around with a bunch of different camera angles. So I take this camera that I'm looking at right now, and I actually put it up and then down like that so that you can actually see my hands while I'm doing crochet. So that was an upgrade I made in my studio last year, was to put it on this actually fairly cheap but easy to use arm. And then that lets me just make manual changes because sometimes manual changes are the best option versus having a whole bunch of tools and cables and digital solutions. So this gives me a bunch of control without worrying too much about everything else. And then, I can use my phone as a camera too. But I have a bunch of extra little cameras laying around. So I got lots of options, which makes it nice to be able to create just about anything. But it's all about layering things on. So yesterday I talked about dual mode and what I loved about that, and the new scenes view, which you can see I'm not even using today, but this is the cool new scenes view. So you can actually make them a lot more visual. But what I love and what I'm chatting about today is just how easy it is to layer things on. So you don't actually even need to hire a designer or overthink it or build stuff all out. You can create a really professional look just with overlays, with shape overlays, which are down here. We can do countdown overlays, which can be really fun. That is here, right? So I could set myself a countdown. I can say, all right, 10 minutes left here. Where's my favorite font? I like American Typewriter. It's kind of fun. Right. Oh, marker felt. I do like marker felt. Felt marker. I feel like it should be felt marker. Anyway. I don't want that. Let's see here. Yeah, let's pull that up, and I don't really want a background. Let's get rid of my background. None. Right, so you can have a lot of fun with this kind of stuff. You can create. I do like the shadow. I always feel like that adds a really cool effect. So you can have that, and then you can do things like comments. Like if folks who are watching leave a comment, you can add those in, and you can have a placeholder. So you can see, I showed this a bit yesterday, but you can really fully design how this looks. So this is what it'll look like when a comment comes through. So you can just have it here, and you can see this is terrible at the moment. Let me close this. But so what I probably want is, yeah, I think I just want a color, but I want it to be white. The perfect move. White on white on white. So white. And then I like the shadow. All right, and then I'm going to come in here, and then I need not white text. And I don't like the shadow effect of my text. What about purple text? Dark purple text. That looks good. And then I'm going to come in here again. Yeah, it can match. So there we go. And then I could decide maybe I want like some rounded edges to that as well. This is all I'm ever doing when I'm planning on building a show or a presentation. I'm just thinking about like what are the elements that would make it exciting for people? What would make it fun? All right, let's bring back some of these menus that I took away. So let's see here. I have the comment one open. Bring camera effects back up over here. Sound levels. Sound effects I already had open. There we go. Overlays, scenes. You can also bring them back up here. Scenes is missing. There we go. Now I have all my windows back. It's the downfall working on a laptop. But yeah. And then some cool things too that people may or may not know about. And then I'm going to pop off. Call it a night. If I come back up here to this me and a guest scene, what you may not know is if you have the camera switcher open, I'm just going to let this take effect. I'm going to come over here to all sources. These are all the cameras that I have connected to my computer right now. So you can see I have my FaceTime camera. I have my iPhone camera. I have my main camera, which is the OBSBot Meet 2, and then I have 2 guests placeholders. That's if people call in through interview mode or for Ecamm for Zoom and connect in with me. That's what is showing here. So when a guest calls in, I could populate them up here. But you can actually just drag and drop from the camera switcher up, which is really cool. So I can just come up here and drag in the iPhone camera here easily. In seconds, it comes up here. I could change my mind and say, no, FaceTime camera, and then be like, absolutely not. Back over here to your phone camera. And you can control the your camera settings and effects for each different camera. So I can come up here and say like, oh, this phone camera, maybe I want to zoom in on my troll over here. My Little Pony and my troll. I can zoom all the way in. There we go. And then I could say, I want to adjust the brightness of that. Maybe the temperature. I love a gamma. There we go. Maybe make it a little bit darker, right? And I can have that apply to every scene that camera's in or just this particular scene. Or I can go black and white for a little effect. I can blur it a little bit. It could be like a little moody. We're hiding stuff. So there's lots of different things that you can do to bring your scenes to life here. But I just think it's neat that not only can you can assign cameras. So right now this one is camera B, and I could assign this one to camera A. So now anywhere I put, let's see here. So if I come down into this scene and I add camera A, and then let's say duplicate that next to it, and then I come in here, I could change this to camera B, and then that'll pull me automatically. So you can see it's just another way to control camera sources. And then that lets me duplicate these really easily. And anywhere where I drop a camera A, it'll pick up this camera and then camera B, and it'll pick up me facing the screen. All right, friends. Well, again, these have been around a half an hour, so I feel like I'm doing a pretty good job here with this. And if you're just catching this here at the end, one more time, hi, I'm Katie. I don't typically live stream to these places that I've chosen today. So I'm here on my YouTube channel, my personal YouTube channel that I'm growing. I'm on LinkedIn Live, which is newer for me. And then Facebook, I do spend a lot of time on. But if I haven't officially met you yet, good to see you. If you're catching this video later, I'm going to be doing one per day about this time each day in the evening post work. And you are always welcome to ask any questions. I'm just going to be walking through some of the cool things I like about video creation, about Ecamm, walking through some of my workflows, answering any questions you have along the way. So feel free to drop them in the comments and wherever you're catching this video, or send me a direct message. More than happy to help walk you through anything, answer any questions in the world of video creation. But that's it for me today. And I will see you again tomorrow for day 3. Bye, everyone.